Welcome back to Socedo Live. Today we're talking about what KPIs you should be measuring as part of your social media strategy. There are 3 of them that we'll be talking about today: the number of followers and audience that you have, how much engagement you have, and 3, the traffic that you're driving from social media. It's a question that I get all the time. We're starting a social media strategy. We've got to measure something. We've got to show success somehow. What should we be focused on? And like I said, the first 3 that we always tend to talk about is followers, engagement, and traffic. So let's walk through all 3 because there's some gotchas in between and obviously some nuance as you start your social media strategy. So first things first, followers and audience. It is a good measure of how well your social media strategy is doing because it shows your reach, right? It shows how much earned audience you have to go after and publish towards. Now, this doesn't mean you should go and buy a whole bunch of fake followers, right? 50,000 fake followers isn't going to do anything for your business at the end of the day. It's like shouting in outer space. Nobody is going to hear you. So don't buy fake followers. That doesn't really matter. What does matter is the quality and the quantity of the followers that you're generating. So for example, a consumer company, B2C, might want everybody in the US, and as long as they're getting everybody in the US, that's fine. They want to build a very large following. However, a B2B company maybe only want to go after IT professionals and CIOs. So everybody will have their own quality versus quantity bar. The more you're on the B2C side, the more you're going to be focusing on quantity. The more you're on the B2B side, you're going to be focusing on quality. Now, that doesn't mean if you're a B2B company and you only sell to CIOs that that's all you should be measuring, because it's going to be beneficial for you to have other IT professionals, other influencers in the IT space following you. So don't get caught in the trap of thinking we only sell to one person and that's what our social media audience should just be comprised of. And of course, whatever strategy you pick, you can't avoid getting some people to follow you who maybe just aren't the highest quality. That's okay. What you're really looking for is that on the high level, the number of followers that you're gaining generally matches your quality versus quantity bar. So that is the first KPI, is followers, audience, and reach. Of course, make sure that you're thinking about the quality and the quantity that you're setting as targets within your social media strategy. That brings us to number 2. The second KPI or metric to be measuring as part of a social media strategy is engagement. This is all of the types of engagements that you can get on social media. This includes retweets and shares. It includes likes. It includes clicks. It includes views, impressions, video views. It includes mentions and responses. This is going to show you that you've got an audience with your followers, but how engaged are they really? It'll also show you which content is going beyond just your own audience because it's being shared and people are engaging with it. Measure engagement at a high level. So you want to know overall this month, how many likes did we drive? How many clicks did we drive? How many video views did we drive? But you should also be measuring this on a per post basis. That's going to tell you which of your posts are doing the best. It's going to allow you to build more content like those posts that are driving the best engagement. So make sure to measure at a high level and at an individual post level. The last thing that I'll say about engagement that I see happen a lot is that people are just measuring the engagement on their public profile and not measuring the engagement within private messages or DMs. Remember, you're going to have conversations on DMs. Those responses should count against your engagement number. Those clicks should count against your engagement number. This is something that we're seeing more and more in social media. More engagement is happening on private messaging. All of the messaging apps, Facebook Messenger, Twitter Direct Message, Instagram Messenger, are gaining more popularity these days than just public broadcasting. And you're seeing this. It's why Snapchat got popular, because people want that ability to have private conversations. You're seeing that with Instagram stories and messaging. You're seeing that with Twitter Messenger and Facebook Messenger. So don't forget to measure engagement on messaging as well as your public presence. And third is traffic, the amount of traffic that you're generating from social media. You should look at this as general referral traffic coming from social media. You can set this up in Google Analytics or whichever analytics tool you're using to measure traffic. And you're going to want to look at high level, how many referrals are you getting from Twitter, from Facebook, from LinkedIn, from the generic social media sites, and is that growing? This is a good measure because on the engagement side, you're going to measure how many clicks you're driving. But of course, your visibility on social media goes far further than just the links that you're really tracking towards. And so getting a general sense of how much traffic is coming from social is going to be really important. Now remember that the visibility that you're gaining on social media, for example, you watching this video of me right now, you may not click directly on a link. Instead, you may come to Socedo.com because you just type it into your URL or you go and search for Socedo. So remember, the last thing in terms of traffic that you want to track is, are you seeing increases in organic traffic, search traffic, and direct traffic that comes from your social media presence? We do a correlation analysis regularly to see that as we're driving more engagement on social media and as we are driving more audience on social media, are we also increasing search traffic and direct traffic, because people will kind of come to you that way. It brings me to my last point here. You can't measure everything on social media, right? Sometimes you're just going to build a presence and build an audience, and you're not going to be able to track every single referral. And so when you're thinking about measuring traffic, really look at it as more of a directional indicator than being able to source and attribute every single thing in your funnel back to social media. Those are the three big KPIs to focus on when you're starting a social media strategy. It's followers, engagement, and traffic. Remember, not everything can be measured, but those are the three first KPIs to really be focused on. And don't forget, there's lots of gotchas. Fake followers don't work. Make sure you're looking at engagement across direct messages. And traffic, look at social traffic, but also look at direct and organic traffic. Thanks for joining us this episode of Socedo Live, and please let us know what questions you have about tracking on social media, or maybe what KPIs you measure against that we haven't mentioned here. Thanks so much.